When you first start playing the guitar, you don't need to be playing a bunch of really complicated songs. In fact, the best thing you can do is to find easy songs that get the ball rolling. The more you pick up the guitar, the better you'll be. So here are 10 songs that you can play on the guitar with just one string and one finger. Number 1, I Love Rock and Roll by Joan Jett and the Blackhearts. Which you can play entirely on this low E string with 2 opens and then stop your string for a rest, then 2 more opens, the 3rd fret, then the 5th fret twice, stop the string, then the 7th fret twice, then the 3rd fret one more time, and you loop that whole thing. 0, 0, 0, 0, 3, 5, 5, 7, 7, 3, 0, 0. On the second time through, we'll just do 1, 7, then 1, 3, and then 2 zeros to end it. With every single one of these songs, of course, there's going to be a more complicated and more difficult way to play it, but we can start with the simple version, and when you're ready, you can start to add either more fingers or more notes within the song to make it sound even more like the original. For example, every single one of the notes in I Love Rock and Roll is actually played with a double note. You can play just the top string, but you can also play the A string at the same time with a note that is 2 frets apart from where you are. So starting with 0, you would then have the 2nd fret, and you would play those together to get the real sound of this song, playing both of these at the same time. When you go up to 3, you do the same thing. You just create a pattern 2 frets apart on the string below, creating a 3 and 5 sound, and just drag that shape up to all of the frets that we've been playing, like 5 and 7, but now you have 2 frets apart on the A string. Is the song Bad to the Bone, which sounds a little something like this. Which is a really simple repeating riff on the E string, just going 0, 5, 0, 3, 0, 0, and then some rests, which you can just do by stopping your string and play those double open E strings over and over again. Then start it over with 0, 5, 0, 3, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, and so on and so forth. With these songs, make sure that you start off kind of slow and then work your way up to the right speed. You also need to pay attention to the rhythm. Those two things, the speed and the rhythm, are going to be what makes the song sound the way that it is, provided that you're playing the notes correctly. So if it's not sounding exactly the way that you want to, try to slow it down and get the right rhythm and make sure that you're spacing the notes correctly, and then start to speed it up until you reach the speed of the actual song. Number 3, the Batman theme song. It's actually pretty easy to play. All you have to do is start on the 2nd fret of the D string and it sounds something like this. Now the trick is that it's kind of fast, but all you do is start on the 2nd fret of the D string and you just play everything 2 times in a row, so doubles. So we have 2 here, then we move down to the 1st fret, and then we go down to the open string, and then back to the 1st fret. And we just loop that over and over again. 2, 1, 0, 1, 2, 1, 0, 1. At the end, you can either play the 2nd fret twice, or if you want to be really bombastic, you can slide up to the 7th fret of the D string and play the same thing. Now, one more element you could add if you wanted to is the open A string at the same time. Again, practicing playing 2 strings at once with your pick, playing the 0 and the 2 together, and then the 0 and the 1 together. And it adds another layer to this sound and can be kind of nicer sounding, so you can play everything with that open A string. Number 4, Eye of the Tiger by Survivor, and it sounds a little something like this. Which you can play on this open E string going all the way up to the 8th fret and then playing 8 with a pause, then 8, 6, 8, and another pause, 8, 6, 8, and another pause, 8, 3, and 4 to finally end the riff. This is another one of those songs that once you have the 1st finger version down, you can go ahead and add the 2nd finger, making that power chord shape that we made from the 1st song, which is just, again, adding another string played at the same time, the E and the A together, and another fret, which will always be 2 frets apart from the note that you're holding down on this bottom E string. So if the note is 8, then you're going to have another note on 10 on the A string, 2 frets apart every single time, and you can play the same riff in the same way, following your 1st finger and following the 8, 6, 8 pattern. This will give you that really full sound as you keep adding layers to it when you're ready after you've done that one finger version. Number 5, TNT by AC/DC, which sounds a little something like this. As you can see, it's super easy to play. You just go down to this bottom E string, you go 0, then 3, 5, then you do 3, 5, 3, and then this 0 again to start the loop over. So 0, 3, 5, 3, 5, 3, 0. You'll notice that I'm trying to add in a little percussion and stopping the strings with a little karate chop on my right hand. So if you want to add these details, it'll be 0, slap, 3, slap, 5, slap, 3, 5, 3, slap, and then 0 again. And you might be noticing a theme with all of these songs. We're always able to add a second string if you want to fill the sound out and sound more like the original. This follows the same process. You just add one more note on the A string that's 2 frets apart. So if it's a 0, it's 0 and 2 played together. If it's a 3, you play 3 and 5 together. Always 2 frets apart will give you this sound for TNT. Number 6, Smells Like Teen Spirit by Nirvana, which sounds a little something like this. You could play entirely on this low E string and one finger using the 1st fret to start, and you're playing each note twice, so 2 of the 1st fret. Then you go up to the 6th fret, play that twice. Down to the 4th fret, play it twice. And then all the way up to the 9th fret and play that twice. If you're ever going really far on the guitar like this, you're going to want to use these dots on the side to help mark your frets and find those places faster. I know that the 9th fret is right here because it's on this 4th dot from my guitar, so I can always jump there very, very quickly instead of having to count every single fret every time. So when you're doing that, try to line up these spots and work on your accuracy jumping your finger from 1 to 6, 4 to 9. When you're ready to beef it up with a little bit more sound, you can just take that 2nd finger and again, 2 frets apart will give you the sound that you want for the actual song. You can play 2 of these and try to play them together. At this point in the real song, they start using other strings to make that transition a little bit easier, but it's up to you to decide how you want to play that riff. And then of course, if you want to add in some of those nice chicka chicka sounds that you hear in the rhythm, just try to let your fingers off the pressure of the strings. Cover the strings and then strum them with your pick. Number 7, Hit Me With Your Best Shot by Pat Benatar, and it sounds a little something like this. You're going to start on this open A string, which is the 2nd string from the top. Start on the 7th fret and play it once, then play 2 open strings, then 2 4th frets, and then 2 2nd frets. Repeat everything again all the way up to the 4th fret position. So the 7, the 0, then 2 4s, but now you're going to add in 4 4 2 2 0 0 2 2, played a little bit closer together. So that part sounds like this. And then you just put the 2 parts together. And again, if you're ready to level up this riff, you just add another finger 2 frets apart, this time on the D string. The next string down, 2 frets apart, just to the right will give you that sound that you want, and you play everything the same exact way. You can get that sliding sound that I'm getting by just dragging your finger down the string and holding that pressure tight from that 7th fret to get that slide on the way down to the open string. Number 8, the Mission Impossible theme song, which sounds a little something like this. which you can play on this low E string starting on the 2nd fret. You go 2, 2, 2, 2, 5, 7. Then you start over again. 2, 2, 2, 2, and now go open 1. And that's the entire riff that you can loop. And in case you're wondering, although I don't think the original song does this, you can add that 2nd finger on the string below, 2 frets apart, to create a fuller sound. Number 9, Another One Bites the Dust by Queen. This always makes my lists for these songs, but it's such an easy riff to play that you can't not have. Another famous song using just this low E string and the open 3 and 5, so it sounds a little something like this. You can play the simple version of this riff by just playing 3 open strings, then resting, which is just stopping your string, then 3 more open strings played slightly faster. Then you play this 3, 0, 5, and just loop that. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 3, 0, 5. If you're quick enough, you can add another 5, 3 in there right at the end to give you that classic sound. Because this riff is stolen from the bass guitar, you can actually play this entire song, which only has 3 different riffs, all pretty easily on the guitar. So if this is a song that you like, it might be nice to look into more of the sections and try to play them along. Number 10, Master of Puppets by Metallica, which sounds like it would be really complicated, but it's actually not that bad. At least this part of the riff, which you can play all on the E string and sounds a little something like this. Which, if you were paying attention very closely, is actually a really easy song to remember and to memorize because it just plays every single fret on this low E string from the 12th fret, this double dot, all the way down to the 1st fret. And the only thing you need to remember is how many open strings you're going to play in between each note, because every single note has an open string. So you start with putting 2 open notes in between every single fretted note, starting with 2 zeros, then the 12th fret, 2 zeros, and the 11th fret, 2 zeros, and then the 10th fret, and you can just play 10, 9, and 8 all on their own. So now we go back to doubles, playing 2 zeros, 7, 0, 0, 6, 0, 0, 5. And from this point out, we just play 1 0 in between every single note. So 0, 4, 0, 3, 0, 2, and then we play just 1 right after 2. So it sounds a little something like 0, 0, 12, 0, 0, 11, 0, 0, 10, 9, 8. 0, 0, 7, 0, 0, 6, 0, 0, 5, 0, 4, 0, 3, 0, 2, 1. And yes, in case you were wondering, you can add that 2nd finger on that string below if you want, 2 frets apart down to the right. With the real professionals using their palm to mute these open strings every time you play a 0, letting your hand cover the strings down here at the bridge so that you can get the perfect sound for this riff. Let me know what you think of this in the comment sections below, and if you enjoyed this video, you can support me for free on my Patreon account or by listening to my original music on Spotify. You can find everything with the link in my profile. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you for the next one.